Start by making your pond. Then add the actual mesh and the camera. Make sure to have a custom game mode as well. Turn on physics for that ball. Alright, it bounces. Now we're going to track the mouse in order to rotate the arrow on the ball that way. So just do a hit result for object and get the location of the hit. Make that into a variable we'll use later. Make sure to only take the Y and Z in order to rotate it in 2D dimensions. Then make your own object channel and plug that value into the object types. Make it into an event. Then if you want to, you can make an arrow model. The actual model should be offset from the center because it rotates around the center point. Now we'll actually make the rotation of the arrow, so just make a custom event. Then get the location of the arrow and the mouse hit point in order to determine the rotation between them. And make sure to actually set the rotation of the arrow. Not a good practice, but just run these events on event tick in order to constantly see the rotation updating. And make sure to show the player cursor so you know what's going on. Then make a huge plane in the world and just set the object type to mouse so it detects the mouse hit events. So if I test it, you can actually see the arrow rotating. Now just make a launch ball custom event and get the location of the sphere. Now isolate the Y and Z. Now use the cursor rate location and the vector in order to determine the distance between them. And that distance is actually the strength of how far your ball will fly away. Because the greater the distance, the higher the value is. If you don't want it to go over a certain value, you can just clamp it. Now for the movement, you're going to want to use a set linear physics velocity. And we're going to start feeding it the return value of distance. But before you do that, don't forget to multiply that return value by the forward vector of the arrow in order to determine the rotation to send the ball in. Then just trigger the event when you press the left mouse button. Okay, to fix this, just add another spring arm and attach the camera to it so it doesn't rotate with the ball. Here's what it's supposed to look like. To have a swiping field, you just have to set the mouse location to the ball arrow in order for it to reset the mouse every time, and you have to swipe in order to move it further. Then just make it reset the mouse position every time you press the left mouse, and just trigger the launch ball event on release, and you're set. And if you want to increase it, you can just multiply the distance value. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you on my main channel.